one of the general courtesies when you're handling a firearm is when you pick the firearm up, you clear it, right? So you make sure there's no ammunition in it. So you would lock the bolt to the rear, you'd open the action, and you would check and make sure there's no ammunition in it. There are deputies that didn't know how to do that, and officers in this county. It was pretty eye-opening for me that was the case. Pretty recently, an agency that doesn't regularly train with us, one of their officers came up to me and told me that prior to training with me, that they just learned that what these buttons on the side of the gun do. So what I'm getting at is it was an unacceptably low bar, especially in a rural county such as ours, where a SWAT team may be hour, 20, 2 hours, 3 hours away. So a rifle deployment is significantly higher for our guys than, say, if you worked in City of Seattle or something like that. And the stakes of it are much higher because you don't have a whole team of guys behind you to pick up your slack. So that bar was unacceptably low. So with all those things in mind, I pretty much immediately upon taking over the firearms program started looking at how I wanted to change the qualification. And I don't think that qualifications, a lot of guys when they're new to the training world, they want this qualification to be this crazy high bar, right? Because they say, well, the harder the qualification is, the better my guys are going to be. What ends up happening is people aren't able to meet that bar. You either have to terminate them or you have to devote your training to people who are closer to getting that bar, meeting that bar. I think the qualification, my philosophy and the philosophy that we have and many other law enforcement agencies have, is that the qualification is the absolute baseline. We expect you to be able to pass the qualification with no we don't need to train you up to get to this point. That is what we expect from you on your worst day, is to pass this qualification. So with that in mind, the PCSO rifle qualification is shot to an 80% standard on a smaller target. So the, I should have grabbed them. Apologize, I didn't grab these targets. The CJTC target, it's called the BLEA target. It's a Basic Law Enforcement Academy target. It's larger than I am, which again, you can miss that thing 15 times with the old qual. It's larger than I am. What we're using now is what's called an IPSC target, or a USPSA target. It's a cardboard, roughly anatomically correct silhouette. So you have to get an 80% standard, which basically equates to, it must be a torso shot if the shot is prescribed to the torso. You must hit somewhere within the torso. It consists of 30 rounds rifle, 3 rounds pistol, so it's actually less rounds, but it's far more comprehensive. And then any miss of the target is an automatic failure of the line. Again, remember this is a static target. It's not moving on you. It's not shooting at you. And these are really generous times. So again, any miss is an auto fail. You miss the target, that's your qual's a wash. We're going to retrain and we're going to reattempt at a later date. It also incorporates every manipulation a shooter could reasonably be expected to perform if they deploy a patrol rifle. So it requires you to change general rule of thumb, there's 2 different ways to change a magazine. You can either keep a partially expended magazine and put a fresh one in, or you can, if you have a totally empty mag, you can just dump that mag and put a new one in. So it goes over both those types of reloading a rifle, both those methods of reloading a rifle. It goes over clearing malfunction, so if the gun fails to fire due to a myriad of reasons, we cover every possible way that can happen, every reasonable way that can happen, and the shooter's forced to clear that under time to display their proficiency. So we rolled that out in January of this year, and I think it's worth noting people looked at it, a lot of people that it went out to, and I got a lot of feedback like, holy crap, we can't do that, that's a crazy high bar. We implemented it within the county. We just finished our qualifications last month, and no one has fully failed this thing. There were a couple people that required, they shot it and didn't pass, and we retrained them and we did our remedial training, and everyone within the county that is assigned a rifle, within the sheriff's office that is assigned a rifle, has passed this qualification at this point. So it's not some crazy high bar. And this is just our qualification policy on failure of qualification. So I separated into primary duty gun qualification and qualification of all other firearms. So your primary duty gun is the pistol that you're assigned to carry on duty. So if you guys want, I can print these out at the end of this.